This example 5, a glass of lemonade at 40 degrees Fahrenheit sits in a room that is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature after T hours is modeled by the function T at time T equals 70 minus 30 e to the negative 0.5 T. Find the average temperature of the lemonade over the first 5 hours. So this is 5.3/5.6 part 4. Guys, we're almost done. You're more than halfway there. So we're going to use, because it says find the average temperature, we're going to use y bar equals 1 over b minus a, the integration from a to b of the function dx. Okay, so let's put the pieces together. 1 over b. B in this case is going to be 5 because that's the time that has surpassed, and a is 0. So I'm going to integrate from 0 to 5 the function 70 minus 30 e to the negative 0.5 t dt. Okie dokie. So this looks like y bar equals 1 over 5. We're going to simplify that. And then I'm going to integrate the 70 minus 30 e to the negative 0.5 t. So to do that, when I integrate it, I get 70t minus 30, that's the coefficient, e. Now if I add 1 to 0.5, I get 0.5. But it's negative, and I'm going to divide by that. So this is going to be negative 0.5 t over 0.5. Okay, that's the rule for e raised to something that's not just x. All right, so this is what this looks like. So again, I'm just going to make this look a little bit simpler. 1/5 70t. And if I divide by half, because 0.5 is half, and I multiply that by 30, I get 60 e to the negative 0.5 t. Okay, so now I'm going to evaluate this from 0 to 5. So f at b, let's do that first. So I'm going to take 1/5 times 70 times 5, because remember b is 5, minus 60 e to negative 0.5 times 5. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my calculator to figure out what the heck this is. All right, so I have 0.5, or excuse me, 1/5 is 0.2. So 0.2 times, inside parentheses, 70 times 5, which is 350, minus 60e raised to the 2.5. And remember, that is negative, so it should be a negative 2.5. Okay, I'm just making sure everything's okay. 1/5 is 0.2. 350 minus 60e raised to the negative 2.5. And I'm going to hit enter. When I did that, I got 69.015. F at a. Remember, a equals 0. So I do 1/5 times 70 times 0 minus 60 e raised to the 0.5 times 0. Okay, I know 70 times 0 is 0, minus 60, e to the 0 is 1. So we get 1/5 times 60. So I can take 0.2 times 60, and that gives me 12. Okay, now I'm going to take f at b minus f at a. So if I take 69.02 minus 12, That equals 57.02 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next one. All right. Example 6. The prices per share of certain stock can be approximated by S at t equals 25t minus 5t squared plus 18, where t is in time and years since the stock was purchased. Part A, find the price of the stock 2 years after it was purchased. So I'm just going to plug this into the original formula. So this equals 25 times 2 minus 5 times 2 squared plus 18. So 25 times 2 is 50. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And I'm going to add 18 to that. So I get 30 plus 18, which is $48. Okay, so that's my first answer. Part B, find the price of the stock 5 years after it was purchased. So S at 5, we take 25 times 5 minus 5 times 5 squared plus 18. 25 times 5 is 125, and I get 5 squared, which is 25 times 5, which is 125. And then I'm going to add 18 to that. So this becomes just $18. Okay, so now I have to find the average price of stock. So it's asking me to find the average, so I'm doing y bar equals 1 over b minus a, integration from from a to b of the function dx. So let's put everything together. It says the first 5 years, so b is 5 and a will be 0 because it's a 5-year stint. Integration from 0 to 5, and the equation is 25t minus 5t squared plus 18 dt. All right. So I'm going to integrate, but remember I'm going to leave 1/5 hanging out. Okay, so 1/5 is hanging out there. I'm doing the integration. So I get 25, and I get t squared over 2. I'm going to fix that in a minute. Minus 5 times t cubed over 3 plus 18t. Okay, so this becomes 1/5. 25 halves t squared minus 5/3 t cubed plus 18t. And I'm taking that from 0 to 5. Okay, so I'm going to work with f of b first. So I'm going to leave the 1/5 hanging out here. And I'm going to plug in 5. So 25 over 2 times 5 squared minus 5/3 times 5 cubed plus 18 times 5. Okay, so I know 5 squared is 25. 25 times 25 is 625 over 2 minus 5 to the third is 125, and 125 times 5 is going to give me 625 again, but over 3. And then 18 times 5, doing this on my calculator, that's 90. All right. And then I'm going to multiply that by 1/5. So in my calculator, I know 1/5 is 0.2. So 0.2 So 0.2 times, parentheses, 625 divided by 2, end parentheses, minus parentheses, 625 divided by 3, end parentheses, plus 90. End parentheses, and hit enter. And I got 38.83. Okay. Now let's do f at a. Remember that a equals 0 because it's a lower limit. So I have 1/5, and I'm plugging and chugging, so 25 halves times 0 squared minus 5/3 times 0 cubed plus 18 times 0. So lucky for us, this zeroes out and becomes 0. So F at B minus F at A, this is 38.83 minus 0, it's $38.83. That's the average rate of change of that stock. And guess what? We successfully, that's what I'm trying to say, we completed this section. Yay! So you're done with it, and yeah, that's it.